It's Richard Moore from Racing Profits Guides, and we're here at York Racecourse with James Brennan, the Head of Marketing and Sponsorship at York. Let's discuss the racing year here at York then. Obviously it runs on the flat only at York from May through to October. So the first big meeting of the year is the Dante in May.
It is. It's our first meeting and we're back with a bang. So signposting the way ahead. The first ever £1 million Dante Festival starts on Wednesday the 14th of May, runs on the Thursday and through to the Friday. So 3 huge days, Group 2 racing on each of the days, 2 Group 2s on the opening day. So you get a chance to see the sprinters in the Duke of York Clipper Logistics Stakes, and you also get to see the best of the classic fillies in the Tattersall's Musadora, which is a well-known form guide for, of course, things down at Epsom.
Fabulous. And then what's on the Friday? What are the big races on the Thursday and the Friday?
Well, it gives its name to the festival. Somebody said, what's an Italian poet got to do with racing? I said, well, yeah, okay, he gave his name to the last northern trained winner of the Derby. We're talking, of course, about the horse Dante, who shares his name with the festival and shares his name with the feature race of the 3 days, the Betfred Dante. So it was lovely to see Yorkshire get on the board in that race last year, courtesy of Libertarian coming from the Carl and Elaine Burke yard.
Before he moved over to Godolphin, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
So we'll see what it brings. It's always exciting, and very much as soon as they pass the post, people are starting to make markets for Epsom. The likes, of course, of Authorised and Northlight have done that fantastic double.
Fabulous. And then moving on through the year, we've got another meeting at the end of May. I think there's a listed race in that meeting, is there?
We have. I mean, the last 2 days in May, I guess, showcase the stayers. So the Friday of the Dante Festival, the Yorkshire Cup, is all about the best of the stayers. It's the first of our 5 Kipco British Champion Series races. So that's about the horses that have been around a while. I suppose probably since Yates we've not really seen a dominant force in that stayers division, so we'll see how that comes to pass. You're right, the first Saturday of our season, May the 31st this year, just sneaks into the May calendar, and all our Saturdays here we hope are great fun, but we hope they also have some quality racing. The Stowe Family Law Grand Cup, a listed race again for stayers. A horse like Carrier Cola came out of that race and won at Royal Ascot. So very much the Dante Festival, the May meeting, signpost horses who'll go to Epsom, they'll go to Ascot, and then they'll come back to us come August. But we'll talk of that when we get to it.
Get to August. And then into June, we just have the 2 race days in June, is that correct?
We do. Again, traditionally in long established race days, Friday afternoons here, really a chance to skive off work early and get a reward by seeing some top quality racing. Every single afternoon here will have a minimum of £100,000 in prize money and a minimum feature race of £25,000. Clearly it's a lot more on some of the days, but even that June Friday, some proper racing to come and see, maybe spot a future star nicking a maiden. Those sorts of horses will be on show on the Friday. The Saturday, great fun race day, and more than that,
day, is it, the Saturday?
It's a nice day. It's about 25,000-30,000 people. The more people who come that day, and I'd encourage people to do so, the more money we raise for charity. It's Macmillan Charity Day, has been for over 40 years. This year, if people come out and support it, we'll go through £6 million raised primarily for Macmillan, but for other good causes. So
they're sponsoring the main sprint that day, are they?
They're very much involved throughout the day. So you'll see a number of the races. Different people want to support Macmillan. It's a sort of race where, day where people are remembering. Sadly, everyone's got their cancer story. The day will hopefully finish on a bit of a high with the Macmillan charity race. So the amateur riders get to ride the dream round here. The price of doing that, they have to raise at least £2,500 in sponsorship
to get a ride in the race.
To get a ride in the race. Last year, between them, the 12 amassed over £50,000. So great to their credit and to their supporters, and a fun end to the day that starts with the Queen Mother's Cup, Lady Amateur Riders, all of the history of Princess Anne having won the race back in 1988.
Fabulous. And then we move obviously into July, a very busy month for the course.
4 race days in July, so we don't let the grass grow. It gets cut fairly regularly throughout the season, particularly in July. We start off on another of those nice Friday afternoons, the second weekend in July, before the action really steps up a gear with the 55th running of the John Smith's Cup. £150,000 in the kitty. It's about as competitive a middle distance handicap as you get. Being here on that day, having the winner in front of 40,000 or so other racegoers. It really is a hairs on the back of the neck sort of occasion.
And usually attracts a big field, does it, that race?
It does. You'd be looking at a full field, so around about anywhere 16 to 20 runners for that one. Also a listed sprint race would produce a big field, and the listed Silver Cup, not as big a field, but again a decent sort of quality. Horses like Distinction have run in that. Hugs Dancer, who went to campaign in the Melbourne Cup, won that one as well. So,
good pedigree.
Yeah, it's a proper day's racing and a little bit of summer fun as well.
And then speaking of summer fun, we move on to the music nights that are becoming more and more popular here at York.
We do. We're unashamed in terms of stealing good ideas from other racecourses or other sporting venues. Many people will have enjoyed Newmarket nights. We tried to take a little bit of that pixie dust, and when we created a new meeting in high summer, with the help of the guys at Sky Bet, we thought, what can we do to give it an identity? The John Smith Cup's got 50 odd years of identity even at that stage. So this one we dubbed Music Showcase, and over the years we've seen some great acts. Last year a record crowd came and enjoyed Ricky Wilson of The Voice, or as he's better known, Ricky Wilson of Kaiser Chiefs. This year, spreading back over the decades again, Friday evening, the sounds of the Beach Boys will be.
It's the original Brian Wilson and everybody, is it?
It's not Brian himself, but it is. It's the original guys who been involved. Mike Love, who was one of the founding members, is now fronting up the lineup that we've got. So they've got access to the 50 or more US top 20 hits that the band have had over half a century. Years, so pick your favourite, whether you're going to get some help from Rhonda, or whether whether you're going to arrive in your little juice coupe. All of those things are going to be happening. It'll be fun. Whatever happens on that Friday evening, the 25th of July. We then give ourselves about 12 hours to turn the place round before we race again on the Saturday afternoon. The Sky Bet York Stakes, £100,000, middle distance Group 2 contest, a sprint handicap worth £50,000. So again, proper racing action in the start of the afternoon, slightly different audience attraction in the evening. Wet. So one of the biggest bands of the late 80s, early 90s. Love being all around us. We'll get a little help from our friends on that evening.
Lovely. And then we move then on to August. Obviously the big meeting here in August is the Ebor, isn't it, over the 4 days?
It is. I mean, the Welcome to Yorkshire Ebor Festival, we know internally is the 4 days that defines our season. It defines it in terms of racing performances. Frankly, it defines it in terms of financial performance as well.
It is,
But it's our global showcase, and it is a global showcase. The racing from York goes to over 80 countries worldwide. The Ebor is shown live on Sky Sports 1 in Australia. It's that level of international sport. This year, over £3 million in prize money across the 4 days. Our richest ever race on the opening day, the Juddmonte International, offering £800,000. And you can look at the honours board and see some of the great names of middle distance racing that have contested that. Some of them have done the same as at the Dante, so both of them over the mile, 2 and 88 yards. The likes of Authorised did that particular double. Some great horses. See the Stars, everyone thought we'll never see his like again. Won it, but then hey, the mighty Frankel was here in 2012. I think anybody who was here that day remembers it with huge affection. It really is one of those days that absolutely defines what we're about. Quality racing, quality horses. We even got blessed with some Yorkshire sunshine and truly made memories for the 30,000 or so people who saw him destroy a world-class field. It really,
superb field, wasn't it,
you see what happens to the sad fate of St Nicholas Abbey, but he was no slouch. Farr came back the following year and won a Group 1 race, and Frankel put them to the sword.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's other races that week. There's the obviously the Yorkshire Darley Oaks for the fillies.
There is. So day one is all about generally the best of the colts, the way that the season now pans out. But the Thursday, Ladies' Day, so what better treat on Ladies' Day than to see the best of the female equine stars, either in the Group 1 Darley Yorkshire Oaks, again blessed with the likes of Siriska over the years and some wonderful fillies, or if you want to try and star spot, you look at the Pinsent Masons Lowther Stakes for the best of the 2-year-old fillies. So Thursday, Ladies' Day, on and off the track.
And then on to the Friday. What's the big race on the Friday at the Ebor?
Well, the Ebor Festival is our meeting of superlatives, so we see our richest race on the opening day in the Juddmonte International, and we see our fastest race on the Friday in the Coolmore Nunthorpe. So the flying 5 furlongs, so real speedballs take part in that one. Tends to attract a big field because that's the way of sprints.
You know, cavalry charge down the Naves Mile.
It can be. The thunder of hooves is something to come here and witness. If you stand by the winning post and they're all hurtling past it, not far short of 40 miles an hour. It has its own history. For Yorkshiremen, I guess the romance of a Bordeler Scott winning it was great for a yard like Robin Basterman's to see his delight at winning at his local big track in Group 1 company. But a lot of the sprinting stars, it's often been sort of the final tipping point of who's going to be the European Sprint Champion of the year.
Yeah. And then on to the Saturday, obviously the Ebor itself.
Yeah, we continue our superlatives. We've done richest, we've done fastest. I guess the Ebor is our famousest.
The oldest, is it as well?
It is indeed our oldest, yeah. 1843 the Ebor's been going. A similar length of time to the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Gimcrack, which now runs on the Friday. But yeah, the Ebor all the way back to Pagan, landing the first one in 1843, bringing it up to date with a pretty emotional afternoon given the way the summer was last year, with Tiger Cliff winning for Lady Cecil.
For Lady Cecil, that's right. Yeah.
So that in its own poignant way was a fitting tribute to Sir Henry, of course, who brought Frankel the year before, and many other greats over the decades to the Ebor Festival. So, yep, we go out with a proper punting conundrum on the Saturday.
And then that moves us on then into September and October. Obviously, still some big races here at York in those 2 months.
Yes, as I say, every afternoon meeting, at least £100,000 in the kitty, and still plenty of black type to be won, even when you head into the autumn here on Knavesmire. The Sunday race meeting, the Garraby Stakes, it's a listed race, relatively new to be added to our lineup, but finding its way. And I love the Sunday. The Sunday has a completely different feel. It's the only one we have of the year. It's the only time when we consciously relax the dress code. And now, having been doing it for coming into its 14th year, it's a little bit scary. Some of the little tots, or certainly some of the teenagers who came with mum and dad in 2000,
now they're coming back.
They're now coming back with their own children.
Fabulous. And then you finish in October. You have a two-day meeting in October, is it, as the finale?
We do. The curtain comes down in the sort of the second weekend in October. So we go from the relaxed fun of September Sunday and the delights of Peppa Pig to a whole different bunch of attractions in the October meeting. The Friday, still some nice racing, but we've dubbed it Countryside Day. So if you want to see hawks flying, you want to see the amazing Maisie the sheepdog with Carol Melling from the Dales, Friday in October is the day for you. And then sadly we've talked our season away. The curtain will come down on Saturday the 12th of October. Comes down in a pretty rousing style. If you can solve the Coral Sprint Trophy, good luck. You'll have earned some Christmas present money, but also a little bit of a nice way to end the season. The corps of drums of the Coldstream Guards, bearskins and all, march into the parade ring. Sometimes we go into the gloaming there in the middle of October.
Is it? Going into the evening. Well, that's lovely. What a great insight there to the racing year here at York. Thank you for that, James.